Okay, so got a little time on my hands since we're waiting for parts for the Firebird. So I figured, hey, what the heck? Let's pull Mater in here and strip it down and see what we got. Well, let's just take a minute and do a little walk around here. This is a 235. I believe it's a 1952 235. This is a 1955 Task Force 3600, which is a 3/4 ton. Initially, this had a dump bed on it, like a dump truck. It was used at some farm, and apparently most of its life just hauled manure around. Last license plate was 1964. So, yeah, there you go. It runs. I drove it in here. Actually runs really good, considering. I threw a, little auxiliary gas tank on it. She's a fuelie. And just because I didn't really trust the tank actually holds gas, but, it can't be that great. So I just threw a filter in it. Notice that the element is floating around in this filter from the Jungle website. Threw the rest of them away. That is bullshit. I mean, literally, I put it in there and the filter fell off in the casing. Great. I threw a carburetor kit in it, and because that was, of course, all dried up. And I threw a coil, cap rotor points, condenser at it. It runs good. I mean, check out the battery. Hold down, battery box. This is the hold down. Oop. It's mint, it's custom. It's like new. So, yeah, I got some ideas for this, but she's rough, man, she's rough. But it does run, so the motor's good. I would, if somebody, I'm probably going to sell the motor. I'm thinking whoever buys this is buying a running motor, but I would definitely rebuild it, who knows. It actually runs pretty good, and there's another clip on the website showing it, showing it running. Interior is special, It's got the nice floor mats. It's got a lot of what I would call farmer repairs. Farm boy racing here. The doors at some point were stolen. Somebody came in and just cut the hinges off and took the doors, which I find fascinating. Seat, it's like new. I think that's like circa 1972 J.C. Whitney, if I don't miss my guess. It's got the radio delete option. But, there's some parts in here that I'm going to keep. So I'm going to strip this down and, move along what I don't need, throw away what's junk. And then my real intention with this is I'm going to take this body off the frame. I am going to strip it down so it's just the frame and running gear. And I'm going to model this frame in CAD. You can see these extensions were put on for the dump truck attachment. So I am going to take and model this whole thing in CAD, get it leveled out, pick up all the mounting points, all the holes and cross members and whatnot, so I know exactly what this frame looks like, where all the body mounts are, and my intention is to then design my own frame with my own front suspension, independent suspension, and a Ford 9-inch rear end, probably truck arm. I'm thinking would be pretty cool for this. Truck arm rear end would be pretty nice. And then I'm going to I've got a new body for it. I got a new body and everything else. So my intention is to take this stuff, strip it all down, make sure everything looks good, measure it all up, sell the frame and running gear and motor, transmission, rear end. You gotta love that. It just dumps the exhaust right on the drive shaft. That's pretty nice. Keeping it warm, keeping it warm. I was impressed the exhaust wasn't plugged up. I was amazed by that. I kind of figured that'd be a mouse townhouse by now. So, like I said, I'm just gonna slowly strip this thing down, take everything off it that I might need for a future project, for the project that I'm gonna do. And like I said, I have a really nice cab with doors, fenders, hood, everything but the bed. And I'm gonna build it up into a pro touring truck. And use, build another street rod out of it. But that will come after the Firebird's done. But this is just neat. I couldn't pass this up. It wasn't running when I got it, obviously, but it's got the optional tube stock oil cap. This is what they call a stove bolt 235. I believe this has solid lifters because the lifters never made a sound when I first started this up, and I kind of figured those would clatter and clank for a long time, but they didn't. This thing lit right up, started up and ran. Really good, actually. It idles nice. I started it up and I got it running through heat cycles to it, got it, all the pine needles and oil down in here were burning off pretty steady. That's why it's a little smoky in here right now. It was missing. This is a wire that runs from the starter. So when you engage the starter, it puts a full 12 volts on this side of the coil. Now that was missing. And I wasn't getting spark before I put that on. But what happens is the key switch in this, I think, is a little bit corroded. So it doesn't get a full 12 volts to this first side of the resistor so that it's lower voltage over here. It runs fine once it's running. But, that wire, some people claim it won't start without it. Some people claim you don't need it. This one needed it to get it running again, but it wasn't on there when I got it. So I'm assuming at one point it did not need it. And again, that just runs from a little terminal on the side of the starter down in there to the, let's put some light on it. You can see where I've got it clipped on. Just a little to the side of that terminal up to the coil, and it just puts a full 12 volts when the starter's engaged. Now, this vehicle, check out the farm boy fixes holding the floorboards together. I love this thing. This is awesome. It has a push button starter. A floor pedal starter. So this is the starter. It engages a little lever over here, which pushes in on the starter, and it engages the gear, the starter gear, and into the flywheel, and also engages the power to crank it over. So it's pretty neat. You gotta love it. It also has a throttle choke pull, kind of like that to set the idle. There's just a lot of neat things in this truck. What's this say right here? They've got little the old stamper things here. Secret messages. Definitely got to save on that. Throttle. What's this one say? Oh, wipers. And check this out. Got the glove box floor delete option, but in the old bun bushy door latch. Don't know what that is. Pretty sure I don't even know what that is. That's weird. I'm sure I'll figure it out when we start gutting it. It's got a 4-speed, very low gear in first, I'll tell you that. Choke lights over there. Had a water temp gauge put in special. It does have oil pressure. Has good oil pressure. So I don't know if this thing was rebuilt at some point well, I know it was, because there were no 235s that came orange. Okay, they were all either the old tan, the old gray, or factory blue. But so this was obviously gone through at one point. But runs good. It's got the old remote oil filter. It's got the oil bath, air cleaner. I'm gonna leave all that right with it. I'll probably pull off like the regulator. It's got the generator charges. I'll probably just leave all of that and put that in a box for somebody that, you know, if they're going to run this, maybe they could use it. I don't know. The resistor I took apart and cleaned it, but it's not in great shape. So, you know, little things like that you got to expect to go through. But motor-wise, the carburetor works pretty decent. It seems to run good. Looks like I got a little bit of a leak on it, but not too bad. You know, who knows? So if somebody's looking for a stock 235, let me know. This thing seems to run nice. Has oil in it. It didn't have any water in the oil. It had antifreeze in it. I did, you know, filled it all back up with antifreeze, so the block will have antifreeze in it. My intention is to leave the motor, transmission, rear end, everything right in this rig. And we'll see where we go from there. But that is my plan. Yeah, so that's the top side evaluation. I'm going to lift this thing up, kind of see what we got underneath it. But oh yeah, you can obviously tell which side was where it was parked, which side was north, because we got the, you know, we got the moss, got all the moss on the cab. You know, that's it's a feature. The roof on this thing in the back of the cab looked pretty damn decent. Bottom gone. This looks like it's still got the e-brake cables on it. It doesn't roll real well, so like you can't push this thing around to save your life. So I'm gonna get it up on the lift and see which wheel is dragging, or if they're all dragging, or what's happening there. But something is causing this thing. You'd have to pull it with a truck. So that's kind of where I'm at with it. I'm gonna cut this video here, I think. Probably do a separate one for the bottom. It's got the big helper springs on it for the dump truck option. This thing was a worker. These weren't built plush. Let me tell you, I was just turning this thing around in the driveway to get it in here, and that was all the workout I wanted, turning this thing in those big tires in the gravel. It was everything. It was 2 men and a boy to steer this thing going slow. So anyway, is what it is. Should be a fun project. Like I said, I'm looking to build more of a pro touring street rod looking truck than a you know, manure hauler. So the back window actually looks good. I think that's savable. I think that's just pitch. I don't even see any fog in the corners. You know, I don't know. We'll pull it out, see what we got. Front windshield, you know, it's almost new. It's looking good. Got one wiper-ish. I don't think there's a blade on it, but it's there. So some of this stuff is savable. You know, little pieces, parts. But I'm gonna try to leave everything. I'm gonna, you know, I gotta get down so I can see the frame real good, so the fenders have gotta come off. Probably gonna pull that radiator bracket. Look, the radiator, you know, come on. It's 1955, guys. That radiator looks like she's got some leakage, but it is holding antifreeze right now. It's not running onto the, well, I take that back. There's a little puddle of antifreeze underneath that radiator right now. But anyway, at least it's antifreeze. So I'm gonna dump all that, probably pull that radiator support out. The radiator support doesn't look terrible on this. The grills, you know, she took a pounding. She took a beating at one point, but, you know, it's not horrible. Somebody with a lot of patience might be able to fix that. I'll just buy a new one. The bumper, you know, hey, what are you going to do? It's a bumper. Looks like somebody, yeah, she's dripping good down there now. Once you got it hot, she started to, all the seams are opening up once she warmed up a bit. So anyway, I'm going to knock this off here for now. This is a cool project. I saw this thing come for sale and I had to have it. I don't even know why, but I had to. So I'm going to strip this thing down, get all the measurements I need, model up the frame. understand where everything is, where the wheelbase is, all of that, and then I will offer up the frame, motor, transmission, and rear end, the whole running gear, put it on Marketplace or something. And if anybody's interested in it, let me know. Again, it's a Chevy 3600 1955 3/4 ton pickup. Frame, motor, transmission, rear end. No warranties, no guarantees. This is be an as-is deal. But I'll make somebody a good offer. If somebody's looking for that, this frame looks really good. I don't think this thing spent much time on the road. It looked like it was mostly used around a farm, so it never saw salt. But who knows? He even got a spare. Look at it, it's got a spare tire right there. So, hey, what else do you need? But, you know, she's a cream puff. You can throw a cat through it anywhere. But anyway, this will be a fun project. I've always wanted one. Oh yeah, here's the goal. It's going to go from that to that. What do you think? Oh yeah, that's a 58 or 9, one or the other. It's got the dual headlights. 55, 6, and 7 had the single headlights. The cabs were virtually identical with just a couple minor differences, and mostly in how the hood hinge mounts. All right, Maters and Airborne. Let's see what we got here. I haven't looked at this yet. You'll see it as I see it. Okay. Hoses aren't falling off it. Doesn't look too bad. This is some old tech right here. Frame looks solid up here. I see no problems. I don't see any kinks or bends, which is great. Radiator's a little crusty, you know? Yeah, she's junk. It's dripping. I'd put a pan under it. I'll put some Speedy Dry on that so Tucker doesn't get into it. But it's got grease fittings on the spring shackle bushings. Fascinating. What else do we got here? I was wrong. All the wheels are rotating fine. I think it's just a matter of, you know, if you took the time to take it apart and replace the wheel bearings that need to be replaced and grease the ones that are okay, I think you'd be fine. Not sure what that is or what that goes to. Is there one on the other side? Yep. Oh, shock mount. That's what that is. So the shock mount goes from here up to there, and the shocks in the front are missing. Yeah, okay. Fair enough. Neat. Shockless. Okay. I guess you don't need shocks when you're bouncing around the farm, moving manure from one spot to the other. All right, let's look up through here. Frame looks good. Springs actually look really good. Don't see much going on there. Weird little transmission. Look at that thing. I don't know what that is, but it's kind of cool looking. If I don't miss my guess, I'd say that was a port for a PTO or something. I don't know. That's an option for that tranny or something. I don't know. There's the brake master cylinder. The frame is fantastic. Somebody even put a brake line in this. What? No way. Come on. Oh, hold on. We got some pressure treated lumber under there. That's a bonus. Not on that side though. Okay. Well, brake master cylinder, pedal is on the floor, not doing anything. So let's see, you know, a little bit of a seal leak there, to be expected. Killer exhaust, look at that thing, I'm telling you. Comes under there, goes all the way back to there. And the muffler's not even, well, I guess it is rotted out. She's got some little punkiness going on right there. Let's see. Where is the e-brake cable? comes up to there, but I don't see anything going forward of that. I bet that's what that is. Yeah, that's what that cable is there. It's supposed to go up here and hook onto a lever, which I don't see. But anyway, e-brake's not hooked up. Shocker. Frame continues to look good. Even the body mount brackets are not rotten. It's kind of shocking. I can't believe it, but I got to. You know, look at that. This frame is totally in good shape for 1955. I'm shocked. Probably had to do with all the oil leaks and whatchamacallit, you know, the drizzling, we'll call it. The leafs don't look bad. You know, they're a little scaly. Brakes look like they were working at some point, and they're still rotating. It's an open rear end. So, brakes aren't locked up, which is nice. That e-brake cable is really suspect. It's got shocks in the back. Rear end, you know, the old classic 1955 truck rear end. Sure, it's got a wicked low gear in it. Wicked low. But I don't know. It's hard to say. I'm not going to take the time to open that up or anything. So the other weird thing is all these tires hold air. Look that. No, it should not hold air. There's blisters all over these things. They're all weather cracked. I don't get it. Don't understand it. But hey, they don't build shit like they used to. Okay, so back here you can see where the original frame stopped and they extended on here for the dump truck. Looked like it was some sort of real kit because just the way it looks. And couple little, you know, hook the chain right here kinks, but that's about it. I don't see any bends or any twists or any spots that even look mildly weird. So yeah, I think that's my plan. I'm gonna take and I'm gonna strip the body off this thing, try to document this frame in the wheelbase and everything as best I can, mock it up in CAD, and design my own frame for the project, and use this one pretty much only as a guide, and it'll get me where I need to be. It looks straight, it looks even. I don't see anything strange. I mean, the body is absolute junk, but the frame on this thing, it's all there. Everything's here. I'm not getting any surprises on this frame down here. And I'm gonna leave the motor, tranny, everything right in it. Sell it as a package. And we'll go from there, I guess. Drive shaft is awesome. It's got the center bearing here, which, oh yeah, she's shot to hell. That's gone. But I don't think that anybody bothered about that. And then it's got a expansion joint here, which is kind of neat. Oh, look at that. At one point, somebody had decided that they had to fix on that, and well, this wasn't the original one or something, because that's all cut and welded back up. But I don't know. What do I know? Who knows? This thing has been lived through, you know, many years at this point, and a lot of farmers. So who knows? That's interesting there. That looks like a oil pattern, but there's nothing back there to give you that pattern. So I don't know. Motor mounts, front and rear. Got some oil leaks, a little bit. It'll be all right. Starter still works. It needs a starter gear. Needs a drive gear for the starter, but other than that, it's all functional. Steering box works, but boy, tell you what, you gotta be ready for a workout, because wow, that's hard to turn those tires. Man, I'll put some air in them. They're all up, but you know, just they're old and they dig right into the gravel. So that was most of it. Got better when I got it in here on the cement, but I'm gonna just take some time, pull off what I need to pull off to do my measurements. What's that? Probably just a wasp nest. That's okay. No biggie. Yeah, even the front cross member is not beat up. I mean, there's one little spot here that it's got a little wow in it, probably hit a stump or a rock or something. But Jesus, boy, I'll tell you what, I'm barely someone hooked a chain around that and just peeled that baby open. But who knows? They're trying to pull something out of a ditch, pull this out of a ditch. Who cares? See daylight right up through the top of the fenders. That's always good. Yeah, these things are they're all there, man. All there. At the 3/4 ton hubs. All drum brake, of course. Kingpin. Yeah. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. I will I'll bring you back when I got something interesting, but I'm just going to start tearing into this and see what we get.